Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Steele Carreras YouTube channel. I have an interesting race for you today. This is the first out of 3 races I had during the Trans Am Memorial Day Classic at Lime Rock Park. Lime Rock Park is an absolutely beautiful racetrack. I'll pop up a track map right here. Not that many tight corners as you can maybe see, lots of fast and flowy corners. It's a pretty short track, and it's pretty easy to be fast here, but it's very hard to master it. So it does produce some great racing though, as you will see throughout this video. I'm starting 7th on the inside here behind Cooper Shipman. Pace car is just about to roll into the pit lane, and now we just kind of wait. I'm going to try to get as close to the gearbox as I can here in front, just to get this best start possible without running into the back of him. And there we go. Green flag is in the air. Looks like still 2x2x2. And everybody looks like DeFont is going to try to move to the inside there. I'm not going to try anything too crazy. I'm just going to try to follow in line here as much as I can. Looks like Joe Kawasaki is trying to get around the outside. I fall back to 8th here for just about a second, but there is a ton of grip on the outside of this left-hand corner, and it's a very popular passing zone for me when I get back that 7th place position. Last year I had a lot more success in passing a bunch of cars around the outside in that corner, and I don't think much has changed in the track from last year to this year, so we will see if I use it more often throughout this race. But I do know that I wasn't the only one using that as a passing zone. So anyway, everybody else is just kind of following in line here. This is where things get really interesting, and you'll see this throughout the race. Everybody will immediately dive down to the inside white line and kind of get choked up a little bit there. As you can see, Cooper Shipman around the outside just goes deep and is able to hold on to his car with that rubber and almost takes over 2 cars there. And I'm going to try to do the same thing here, except in the left-hand corner, holding on to the steering wheel there for dear life, and finally get that 6th place position. So once again, the rest of this lap I'm just going to be kind of following in line until the front straight, where things get sort of interesting again. There's not really many places to pass, such as the corner that we just went around and then this one. It's just so hard to sort of stick your nose in there and try to get the position taken away from somebody else. So anyway, a little bit of understeer there. However, the draft is very strong here, so I'm able to sort of stick with Cooper a little bit. But I'm going to go for a deep lunge around the outside, holding onto the car, and it looks like I got that position from him for a moment there for 5th position. And I'm going to stick to the inside where things get a little bit choked up. And so there, as you can see, Cooper gets the momentum around the outside, and he's able to take that 5th position away from me, just because the left side got a little bit held up there, and unfortunately there's nothing much I can do. So anyway, skipping forward to the beginning of lap 4, looks like there's a lot of battling going on in front. Lots of 2 wide action. Mateo's up in the lead there. It looks like DeFont kicks up a little bit of dirt, and it allows Cooper Shipman to hang it around the outside. Looks like a huge wiggle from his car, but he's able to stick it out. I was hoping for something to sort of happen so that I could maybe take the advantage and get a position. But skipping ahead, this is where something happened out on track, and then a full course yellow was called. So anyway, everybody has to slow down here for a couple laps. So during this yellow flag period, I was talking to one of my driver coaches about, you know, what can I do to get around these guys as quick as possible? And I was suggesting the outside of turn 1, and he kind of frowned upon it and said it was kind of high risk. He's like, you can do it, but it's very risky. So I kept it in the back of my mind. Pace car is going in here at the end of lap 8. Kind of waiting here, trying to get as close to DeFont as I can. And green flag. Everybody's going to stick to the inside here just for defense purposes. But I have a different idea, and that is to go deep around the outside. And I decided to do it just because I just feel like there's a ton of grip out there, and I saw other people do it, including Cooper, who's in front of me, and we're able to gain 2 positions off the restart, which is huge. And I'm up into 4th place at the beginning of lap 9. So now I'm behind Cooper Shipman again here in 4th place. And you'll see at the later bits of this video, I decided to skip out this part of the lap, just because nothing much really happens passing wise, either in front of me or near me. So anyway, it's mainly just people falling in line, or nothing really happened. So anyway, off the last corner, Cooper Shipman moves to the inside to either defend or to get a draft from the guys in front. And I think I was thinking about going on a move for him, but it worked out for him, and there's nothing much I can really do. Anyway, start of lap 11. Cooper Shipman's going to go on the outside, late lunge, using all that rubber again, and able to sort of hang it around the outside, and he gets that 2nd position. And now I'm behind one of the Defonces. There's 2 of them in the field, and they're both really quick because I believe this is their home track, but I think Dylan is the one in front of me. So anyway, start of lap 12. Cooper's going to make a big run around the outside for the lead. I'm going to follow suit to try to get around Dylan. Looks like Cooper almost got in the grass there. That would have been catastrophic for him after the race he's been doing so far, but he's able to get that 1st place position. I'm able to get the 3rd place position around the outside there for that small right-hander, and yeah, able to get the job done and stay with the top 3. I don't think I was trying to make a move on Mateo there. It was more to try to scare Dylan into not following me and sort of check up, just because I feel like if I were in his shoes, I would want to check up without something happening. But anyway, that didn't really work out because he's still on the left side of me right now. But just because of that, the immense amount of grip on the outside of that left-hander, I'm able to hold on to that 3rd place position behind Mateo, who's also my teammate. So, end of lap 13. Staying right with Mateo on his gearbox. I'm not going to try to pass him now. I'm just going to either try to follow wherever he goes or hope that something happens in front of me, which I think that was a big lockup from, I think it was Mateo whose tires locked up. And I don't know how he didn't go off in the grass there at the earlier bit of turn 1, because that happened to me a few times throughout the weekend and was not a good ending for me. Either I went off or just lost a ton of momentum. So anyway, kudos to Mateo for holding on to that lead position. And now these 2 are just going to keep fighting. I was thinking about going on the inside, but turn 1 is just not that tight of a corner for me to be able to do that, unfortunately. So I think that was a good move not to try anything. But yeah, I'm just kind of letting these guys fight it out. I'm not trying to get too involved in this. You know, best case scenario, they both kind of make a mistake or something, and I'm able to take advantage of that and move into 1st place. So I feel like that's what I'm kind of thinking right now, along with trying to make it as easy as possible for Mateo, my teammate, to take the lead or make it so that him and I can just go together and move away from the rest of the field. But the laps are also starting to tick down now. Lap 17 out of, I believe, 23 or 24. So they're going to get increasingly more antsy. I'm going to follow Mateo around the outside and try to get on the left side of Cooper, but it was just too far back of a lunge, and I couldn't even attempt it. But I'm going to try again here. Once again, I'm not really hurting anything trying to make a move. It actually kind of helps me stay closer by being able to open up the corners more, whether it's for that left-hander or the exit of turn 1. But it is what it is. The draft is helping me stay in the battle for sure. So anyway, look at this. These 2 are just going back and forth, back and forth. Cooper back to the lead by taking a pass on the outside. And so looks like I got a little bit squirrely there. I think one of the Tovo kids, I believe it was Ethan Tovo, that was trying to get up the inside there, but I gave him enough space and he couldn't really do much with that. So anyway, I was able to hold off and keep that third position. Looks like Matteo was thinking about it up the inside going into the uphill, but smartly backed out of it. I don't think I've ever seen somebody really be able to get that done besides being nose to nose and able to hold on to that position. So now I'm just trying to stick with these two guys up in front, and as you can maybe see, there are lots of understeer to the point where I drop a couple tires in the grass. Thankfully it wasn't worse than that, because if it was, I would have lost a lot more momentum than what you maybe just saw on that front straightaway. But luckily I'm able to sort of close back up to them again under braking. So it was kind of a reoccurring issue throughout the race. But end of lap 21, start of lap 22, and you know what? I'm just going to let this speak for itself. So annoying, so annoying. After the incredible run that we just had, all the way back to 11th place, just got absolutely T-boned into turn 1. So, well, nothing really happens the rest of this race. I'm just kind of cruising around by myself, which is very exciting, and able to bring it home in 11th place. Thankfully, not wrecking the car though. That's for sure. We didn't want to repair the car prior to our other races this weekend. But anyway, obviously very upset after this race. But you can't really control these things in racing, unfortunately. But I feel like what I should have done is just stayed to the inside and completely shut off any sort of hole that could have existed for him to sort of even think about moving up the inside of me to try to take the position for me. So I guess that's what I could have done. You know, Ayrton Senna said, if you don't go for a hole, you're no longer a racing driver. So I should have just not given him a hole to begin with to even think about it. But like I said, it is what it is. Anyway, if you enjoyed this type of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do more, better, if I should continue doing these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.